Hello everyone, we're tackling something incredibly practical. We are diving into the vocabulary of frustration. We're going to figure out exactly how to describe problems at home and at work in English.
So tell me, have you ever just had one of those days where absolutely everything goes wrong? You know the exact kind of day I mean. You wake up late, you instantly spill your coffee, the car absolutely refuses to start. It takes some serious motivation just to keep putting one foot in front of the other on days like that. Well, to help us explore today's vocabulary, we're going to follow a fictional guide named Chloe. Poor Chloe's about to have one of those universally frustrating days, and by tagging along on her journey, we're going to learn how to describe these annoying situations totally naturally in English.
Section 1, Household Headaches.
Chloe's morning kicks off with a complete cascade of issues before she even manages to step out the front door. Imagine waking up, looking around your bedroom, and it's just completely covered in clothes and books scattered across the floor. In English, when a room gets this messy, we say it is untidy. That's your key adjective right there. The room is untidy. And to fix it, we use the exact same word as an action verb, tidy. So the full thought becomes, the room is untidy. We must tidy it. It's a super common, highly useful pair of words to kickstart your day.
Well, as we all know, a bad day absolutely loves to snowball. Chloe wanders into the living room to turn on the news, but all she gets is fuzzy static. To describe this, we simply say, the TV isn't working. We usually don't say the TV is dead or broken here, we just say it isn't working. And if that wasn't frustrating enough, she spots some neglected, crispy brown leaves in the corner. Yep, the plants are dying. That's a much more urgent phrase, right? And the immediate solution? Did you forget to water them? Using water as an action verb is your go-to fix for this one.
Oh man, and then the real disaster strikes. Chloe goes to do her laundry, and there is a massive puddle spreading across the floor. Here, we actually do use the adjective broken. We say the washing machine is broken. It implies a much stronger, more physical state of damage than just not working. And because it's physically broken, it requires a hands-on solution. We say we need to mend it.
Actually, let's pause here for a quick second because this is an absolutely crucial distinction. It's really helpful to understand the subtle difference between our two solution verbs, repair and mend. If that TV from earlier isn't working, you might call someone to repair it. But with something like a leaking washing machine or a torn shirt, you might say you need to mend it. The great thing is, both of these are fantastic action-oriented verbs you use when things around the house give up on you. Adding both repair and mend to your toolkit will instantly make you sound so much more natural.
Section 2, Personal Mishaps.
Okay, so Chloe's house is an official disaster zone, but as she tries to flee the scene, she realizes she's lost her keys. And in her frantic, panicked rush to find them, ouch, she has a physical mishap. The phrase here is simple, but you'll definitely need it. You've cut your finger. Now pay close attention to the solution. We say, you should put on a plaster. In British English, that little adhesive bandage you wrap around a cut thumb is called a plaster. It's a wonderfully specific vocabulary word to keep in your back pocket for minor injuries.
To top it all off, let's throw some emotional stress into the mix, shall we? Chloe has just had a row with a friend. Now, a quick note on pronunciation here. It sounds like cow, not row, like rowing a boat. To have a row is a very classic British English idiom, and it means you've had a serious heated argument. And what's the required action to fix this particular mess? The word you need is apologize, to swallow your pride and say, I'm sorry.
So just to recap, her house is a wreck, her finger is bleeding, and she's just had a massive argument. The result of all these compounding delays? She is now stuck in absolute gridlock traffic, nervously tapping the steering wheel and checking her watch. The key phrase to take away from this stressful commute is, Chloe was late for work. This is the standard, everyday way to express that you missed your start time at your job.
Section 3, Workplace Woes.
Chloe finally makes it to the office. She sits down at her desk only to be completely overwhelmed by giant, leaning towers of paperwork. The perfect phrase to describe this horrible feeling of being buried is she had too much work to do. But wait, it actually gets worse. Suddenly, she's hit with a total technological failure. The screen goes black, and she's left with her head in her hands. In an office setting, we don't usually say the computer broke. The specific phrase you want is, her computer crashed.
And you know what you have to do when your computer crashes, right? You usually have to go bother a coworker for help. But imagine walking up to a colleague who is visibly angry, maybe crossing their arms or snapping at you. We explain this tense situation by saying, her colleague was in a bad mood. Whenever someone around you is irritable, grumpy, or just plain unpleasant to interact with,
in a bad mood hits the nail right on the head.
So Chloe wisely backs away and decides to just grab a coffee and maybe make some photocopies instead. But nope. She walks into the break room to find giant signs taped to both the photocopier and the coffee machine. This right here introduces perhaps the absolute most vital piece of workplace vocabulary you can learn for when communal stuff stops functioning.
You really want to lock this phrase into your memory. Out of order. It's a fixed phrase indicating that a machine or piece of equipment is just not working and cannot be used. You are going to see this exact phrase printed on signs in offices, public restrooms, elevators, and train stations all over the English-speaking world. It means the exact same thing is broken or isn't working, but we use it specifically for public or shared machines.
Section 4. The English to-do list. Man, poor Chloe. What a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. But hey, let's pivot away from all this negativity for a second. Let's look at a positive, totally actionable strategy that can actually help you regain control when your day is spiraling. We all know staying motivated while learning a language takes real effort. Well, our source material offers a brilliant tip for this. When you sit down to make a list of chores to fix your problems, write that to-do list in English. Instead of your native language, jot down, mend my bike, water the plants, tidy my desk. By doing this, you are naturally forcing yourself to practice these action verbs every single day. It immerses you, and it proves that you're making real progress even when you're just dealing with life's annoying little chores.
And honestly, that beautifully illustrates the whole power of language, doesn't it? It gives us the tools to process and manage our messy world. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to think about. How will you describe your next bad day in English? The next time your washing machine is broken, or you have a row with a friend, or your computer crashes, I challenge you to turn that frustration into a win. Turn it into a language learning opportunity. Say what went wrong out loud in English. I promise, it might just make the whole problem feel a little bit more manageable. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep practicing those problem-solving words.